Can everybody hear me? I'll open up with comments. Slow start. I thought their size and quickness overwhelmed us out the gate. I felt like we were better. I thought we were prepared, but I feel like, they were a lot quicker than we thought they were, a lot stronger, and they play together. Coach does a good job of making these guys play well, making us chase all night. They do a great job of spacing the offense to force you to chase on defense. We didn't do a great job in our man-to-man defense. We got beat off the bounce too much. Got our rebounded, and those are tough man plays. I think coming into the ball game, some of the things we talked about that we wanted to do, we wanted to compete. We wanted to rebound. We wanted to play better defense, and we struggled. And I told our guys in the locker room, it was some of our guys who played tonight, they based their defense on their offense because we wasn't making shots. We turned it over too many times, and these guys made us pay because they got out in transition. But so many things went wrong tonight, and you give Butler credit for being disciplined enough to just hang in there and find a way to win tonight. Questions?
Coach, you mentioned the speed and strength of Butler. How quick does that become apparent? And then what is the conversation like in those first 2 timeouts you take, the first 4 or 5 minutes?
I just try to tell them to settle in. We played 2 closed-door scrimmages, and I thought we were the more aggressive team in those 2 scrimmages. And tonight we seemed a little shell shock. I thought we were flat. I thought we rushed the offense. They started off on a great run, and we kept trying to make hero basketball plays, taking quick shots, taking tough shots, not sharing the basketball. And when you do that, that played into what Butler wanted you to do. And but that was the first time out. Just settle in, And my message in one time, I think it was the second we took. As bad as we're playing right now, our offense haven't started clicking yet. We're not down a whole lot. We just got to keep chipping away. And we made some shots, made some plays, but they just overwhelmed us in a lot of different areas that we have to work on.
Coach, with the defense early, just what you talked about preseason, really going aggressively, what do you think you guys needed to change, as you guys continue?
It's buying into the whole system, not just the parts that are easy. We want to be in, if you see how they guard it, we want to be in the offensive player's face, make or miss as soon as they catch the basketball. And we gave Jalen Jackson too much space, which allowed him to get downhill. There was too much separation on the dribble handoffs and the ball screens. We didn't get in the bodies well enough, and I don't know if guys were worried about the physicality, but we were a step behind tonight, and that's why they got into the paint so much. If you look at the points in the paint, 44-22, and we're the smaller ball club, but they did do a great job of throwing the ball inside, but our guard play has to be better in terms of on-ball defense. Yeah, listen, he came in the game, and I felt like he elevated their play. When you bring guys in off the bench, you want these guys to continue to elevate the play, and he didn't bring them down at all. And well-coached ball club, they know their roles, and they did them very well. But that's difficult because we bring in, Devin Curtis, who's given up a lot of weight and a lot of quickness, and they just overwhelmed us, in those areas.
Felt like later in the first half, they sort of did settle in. You could see them running through their sets and things like that. Getting some decent shots. How did you feel about the shot selection overall?
Well, I didn't like it the first 8-10 minutes because we took a lot of bad ones. And there was a point in the first half we were down 10, I think about the 6-minute mark, and I felt pretty good because, like I told our guys, you can't worry about the score right now. You have to keep guarding and chipping away, And we always tell our guys, you got to impact the game regardless of shots or shots made. And we started to do that because we ran some pretty good sets. We got great looks. Even in the second half, we got a couple of great looks with some. We wanted to get more movement. That's what we ran a couple of different plays. We were a quick ball screen, go make a play team rather early on, and then once we settled in after a couple of timeouts, we got a lot of movement and got some open looks. Guys just missed shots. Ishmael Habib and Trey Thomas, they combined for 7 of 30. And those are your 2 lead guards that we expect to do more. And they're going to do more. I mean, it's just one of those days where shots wasn't falling and got to get better looks. I thought Caden Brown did a good job late game of coming into his own with his shot making ability, but we have to be consistent out of the gate.
Coach, you mentioned that 6-minute mark where you guys got back to 7, and then you mentioned Caden making some shots on the stretch. And he was one of those guys who missed time late in the first half. We thought so. We had 5 guys
if you watch the game closely, we put Stephen Clay at the 4, and he's a guard because all of our bigs. So I'm sorry. There you go. So as we running plays, he's looking over at the bench, and I'm like pointing to tell him where to go because he don't know what's going on. We try to simplify it, but we had to be able to run something, and we just try to get him moving and doing some things. But he was totally lost out there, and that's hard. You know, we had, I think, Tolu Samuels, which is 6'8", foul trouble. Ola was in foul trouble. Devin had one, I think he did. He wasn't playing well. But when you have those two guys out, and I think Cardale had 2 fouls as well, but we had so many guys in foul trouble, and we struggled. We were already down when those guys got into foul trouble, but we needed those guys to finish the half, especially once we cut it to, 6 points, because I thought those guys could have helped us in terms of rebounding.
And Coach, how are you guys starting to pull from, this? You had some guys be assertive early, like Cardell, kind of getting things going, Trey getting things going. What did you like from those guys, maybe with all the newcomers starting over?
Well, I think the biggest thing is trusting each other. Once they saw, we ran a few plays and secondary options were there. We need those guys to be better. I thought Cordell really struggled, especially in the first half, and taking some tough shots after we got down. But as the game went along and he settled in, he got better. But we need those guys to be better early. And I told our guys in the locker room, I think we're a lot better than what we played tonight. But you tip your hat off to the opponent. They were a better team tonight. But we have to be tougher from a mental and physical standpoint, so that we will give ourselves a chance to win.
Just one last one. And to that point, Coach, with 12 new players, obviously this offseason, how much of the slow starts kind of attributed to these guys kind of trying to gel for the first time in a real game setting?
No excuse. They have 11 new players. We've been together since June the 8th. And at the end of the day, if you play hard, play within your means, the rest will take care of itself. You can't go out there with no individual agendas. You have to do what's best for the team, and that'll help you prevail. But, you saw on the other side, those guys did a great job of just playing as one. And we didn't do that early on. That's why we were down so much. Once we got down, like I said a second ago, we started taking quick bad shots, and which led to fast breaks. So I thought our transition defense was pretty bad. That's got to improve. Our rebounding has got to improve. Now, I'll say this. This is no disrespect to any teams in our league. I don't think we'll see a team as athletic and as physical as these guys were tonight, and I think it'll help us. But I felt also, I'll also say that it was also good because our guys need to see how much we have to grow. And we have a lot of growing to do here right now. And quick turnaround, we play on Friday at home, and then next week in South Dakota. But we'll have a good film session tomorrow and come back ready to go on Friday. I got time.
Okay.
I got.
Well, there were.
Okay. Well.
Second half, it seemed like your guys were really trying to make those hustle plays. There were a lot of plays that were on the floor. They got 8 steals, forced 13 turnovers. Did you feel like at least they didn't give up in this game?
No, and that was every huddle in the second half after we got down. We're not quitting. That's not who we are. We got outscored in the second half, 36-32, opposed to 52-26 in the first half. So I love the fact that guys did not quit. We scrapped a little bit, but that's got to be who we are. We got to be that kind of team that's not afraid to get, down and dirty on the floor, dive for loose basketballs, and just try to find a way to get it done. Thank you, guys. You got one more?
Especially as you compare it to the last couple of teams you've had, you're much more experienced and roster-wise. How do you think that contributes to what you're able to do in the next 2 days to kind of be more prepared?
Well, we have to be mentally tough enough and lock in up top because we're not going to be able to have any live game reps for VMI on Friday. We'll watch a lot of film. We'll walk through, get shots up. But we had some guys play too many minutes tonight, But we'll be ready to go. We trust me. We had a day and a half of prep. We'll be ready to roll. Thank you.
Okay. For sure. I was just letting the game come to me. Shout out to my teammates for finding me the ball. You know, Diesel threw a nice lob, and we played great on defense, so that led to transition buckets. So I just want to congratulate my teammates for, you know, putting me first and pushing me. For sure.
And Finley, I talked to Finley the other day. He said that there was an appropriate kind of fear against a lower major team that you guys wanted to come out and just show that you weren't taking them for granted. Do you feel like you guys did that today?
Oh, me. Oh, restate that question. Sorry, I thought you were talking to Jamie. My bad.
When I spoke to Finley, he said he wanted to kind of show that you guys were having an appropriate amount of respect for your team regardless of the level of competition. You feel like you guys did that today?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we looked at the scout. A lot of guys are good. You know, at Division I level, you can't give anyone, you know, a less of a game. So shout out to them for pushing us. I think we just did a better job just executing our game plan and our scout. So, but they play really good.
Jamie, it's been a while since a regular season game for you. How did it feel to get out there and hit the first three? What kind of is the big difference for you, kind of being back in a regular season game, maybe outside College Park?
Yeah, I was super amped up. I had a lot of emotions. So I was like, let me just try to get as many rebounds as possible to settle myself down. And then my teammates did a good job of finding me. Diesel was setting great screens today. So was Mike. So it made the shots easy.
Mike, and James, both of you guys have double-doubles today. And really as a team, you guys, I think it was nearly double USI in rebounding on the boards. Just how much was that physicality kind of preached in practice this week with you guys being such a bigger team?
Yeah, so like every day we do like a rebounding drill, and you know, white versus blue, and it gets really physical. Diesel, like trying to box out Diesel, trying to get the boards over, you know, Jamie and Jackson Keys. So those guys push us, and you know, we push each other to get extra boards. And this game was more of an emphasis on grabbing as much rebounds as possible.
I was talking to Finley about this the other day. Last year we played two low mid-major teams, and they came in here. And once they started getting physical with us, and they thought they could hang around, push us around a little bit, then they got confident. So when I was talking to him, we were like, we got to be physical early and just set the tone with the physicality, and that's rebounding. So.
And Jamie, glad you brought that up with the low majors last year. Obviously, it was a tough win against Missouri State last year, and then the loss against Austin Peay. With this win, a big win against USI, is there just more of a confidence with this team as compared to this time last year?
I mean, it's a completely different culture. From the way the staff has treated every single day, there's just a certain intensity that has to be brought every day, or else you're going to get embarrassed in practice. So I give a lot of props to Coach Mata, Coach Mojo, Barlow, all the staff. Like, every day means something. We have to get better, and we have to stay intense, or else stuff like last year will happen. So we just have to be consistent every day.
How much of a lift did y'all want to give you guys off the bench? You seem to be playing with a lot of energy and finishing and getting to the basket. I'll start with you, Mike. How much of a lift did he give you guys today?
Great, man. He's been such a positive guy, man, on and off the court. He's a great guy. You know, every time he steps on the court, you know, he's going 100%. So having him on the team, you know, being the spark off the bench will really help us in the long run, for sure.
Same question.
I mean, Johan's a great player. He's super skilled. For his frame, he's super physical. If you actually really watch the game, trying to guard him in practice, it's really hard. And he's been a lot more active these last couple weeks. He's a great finisher around the rim, so I'm not really surprised. He's a great player.
One more for the players, Lucas.
Mike, you've been around a lot of different teams between Pepperdine and Gonzaga, and been through different types of games. So as kind of a leader for this team, what's the conversation you have with the guys on the floor in a timeout when the game gets down to 7 points with 6 minutes to go in the first half?
Just play your game, man. Be comfortable in your own game, and just trust each other. You know, having 100% confidence in and trust within each other. Playing hard for each other. You know, this is Butler basketball. You know, I know in the past they played all together, and that's what we did. So I'm just telling them, yeah, just keep playing for 40 minutes straight, and good things will happen.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you guys tomorrow. All right, cool. Some rest. I do. I think that that was something that was important to us, was getting after the Indiana State being down 8-1, us getting off to a good start. We've talked a lot about it. I didn't think we started. I thought we started the first half well. We ended the first half well, but we didn't start the second half as first two wars. We weren't as good as we wanted to be, and but I challenged those guys in the second half to. What I didn't want is developing bad habits, and we had some letdowns, breakdowns, and they hit some tough shots against us. I mean, there were some freaky plays where, I don't know, somebody's going to steal it, and somehow it gets tipped away, and they get a layup on us, and, hit a couple of tough threes. But, we're 1/30th into the season, and we've got to keep demanding from these guys that we've got a certain standard that we want to play by. And if you're out there for 3 minutes, we need your best for 3 minutes as hard as you can go, and not having letdowns. So I was excited the way we started. I was a little bit upset to start or in the second half, because I think we only had 6 field goals 8 minutes into it or whatever. But those are things we can build on. This team's shown we've gotten better from the first 2 exhibition games to the start tonight, and we got to keep hammering these guys.
Coach, I know you told us this team was tough to scout. Obviously, a bunch of new players coming in, but you held 2 of their best guards, Trey and Ismail, to about 7 for 30 from the field, I believe. How
Yeah.
were you able to shut them down without really knowing what the offense is going to look like?
Yeah, well, they made us pay a couple times, but I think it's so funny early on watching tape, and they got so many new guys. We're watching AAU tape clips, we're watching junior college clips, we're watching, and you're kind of guessing. But I know this guys that can score, and we wanted to make sure we did the best we could to lock them down, and there was a heightened awareness not to get them. Give them open shots, because what we'd seen is they were capable of making difficult shots. I thought they made some difficult shots against us.
What did you see from the freshmen today? It seemed like they might maybe got off to a little bit of a slow start. I don't think the freshmen supported to the second half. Did you like what you saw from them, or how do you feel like they kind of adjusted to their first kind of real live reps?
I thought they were good. I thought they were good. Jackson Keith defensively was tremendous tonight. He did some, and Xavier with his pressure and picking up full court. I thought Jack was good. All of them honestly did a heck of a job for us, and they're going to continue to grow. I mean, that's what with the depth we're playing right now. They got to come in, like Jamie said. You got to come in every day, and guys are pushing each other. So, getting them the minutes, the reps is a good thing for them. That's for sure.
Coach, you guys had some games last year where you forced 12 turnovers. Not many of that turned into 20 points. I know that was a point of emphasis this offseason, but how would you assess how your team adhered to that defensive pressure game plan?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job. It's a little bit misleading because our deflections at halftime were low, but they weren't making a lot of passes. It was a lot of one-on-one, which lends itself not to get the deflections. And but I thought overall we did a pretty good job of early on. Our ball screen defense was really effective. They got us a couple times, but we didn't hit what we were supposed to. But I think those are things that you look at it, and we got quick turnarounds now, but we still got to teach from what we saw tonight and get ready for the next one.
You played almost a fourth of the game without Johan or Drayton on the floor. Obviously, NZ's out tonight, but is that something you're kind of expecting to play some more really small going forward? And
well,
how do you think those lineups play?
Yeah, one of you guys asked me about that the other day, and like in the Notre Dame game when Johan went down in the first half, we were really disheveled out there. So we've been looking, and I actually joked that on Mondays and Wednesdays Johan has to leave early, which then gives us the luxury to work that lineup, and because he's attending class, that's why he has to leave early. And so I think that that's something that we can use effectively, because Michael can rebound, and Jack did a pretty good job rebounding tonight. So that's going to be a viable option that we're going to need at times. There's no question about that.
One more for King.
And how just maybe were Johan's kind of post touches and just the activity he had around the basket, just his ability to finish and drop fouls, just how much of a lift that in the second game?
No, that was big, and I think for Johan, he was playing really well when he went down that Notre Dame game. Then he missed a week completely, and even in the Indiana State game, he wasn't all the way back yet. So to see him play the way he played, because he's been practicing that way, and you know, with he and Drayton, I thought they both gave us a heck of a punch and demanded attention defensively, and that's what we need those guys to do.
You okay to take one more?
I'm here all night, yeah.
You mentioned after Indiana State, Jalen Jackson hadn't really played 25 minutes in a game in a long time. He
Right.
played 25 again tonight, still now at like 30. But how have you assessed how he's kind of continued to get up and ramping up to his pace, speed exactly?
Yeah, no, I think Jalen's making progress, and once again, you know, a lot like Jamie, you know, he didn't play all summer, and really, I think we've now had him full go for probably a week and a half. He had limited minutes in practice, and so I'm excited to see him continue to grow and develop into who we know he's going to be.
Coach, also you got IU this weekend, and they were able to put up a pretty impressive performance against Ohio State with over 100 points. Just initial thoughts on that game, and just what are you expecting from them?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I haven't seen them. They got everything ready for me to go watch, but I know they play a very, very unique style, and just in terms of their picking up, trapping, pressing, what they call it, hockey subbing, and that sort of thing. So we got to. They play tomorrow night, I know, and we'll have our guys ready. Like I said, it's a quick turnaround, but we got work to do on our end, and as well as prepare for them.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
There's a limit, Lucas.
You gotta try.